On the 30th of May, which happened to be Biafran Day, 5 soldiers were killed in Abia State. Some of us have talked about this consistent killing of Nigerian soldiers both in the northeast, north central, northwest, southeast, and every part of the country, especially when it comes to this issue of IPOB, ACN, and the insecurity in the southeastern part of the country. So many people have this opinion that using the military to subdue the southeast people to live their dream of having a country of their own will never worked out. Example, people like Sowore and many other Nigerians who have voiced out that Mr. Nnamdi Kanu should be released if the Nigerian government wants peace from that part of the country. Because continue detaining the IPOB leader will continue to raise a lot of insecurity in that part of the country. May 30th is not just starting today as the Biafran Day. It has always been, even right from Muhammadu Buhari's administration. But one of the things that I found very, very funny in this whole drama is the fact that the Nigerian army and even the president released a press statement of which they stated that the Nigerian army were on peacekeeping in the southeastern part of the country, specifically Abia State. Now, the link there is to what happened in Okwama. But before I will give a detailed explanation and my own thoughts on this particular issue, let's look at the press release by the president as well as some few Nigerians, like the former Minister of Education, Ezekwesili. The President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, released the press briefing. He said, and I quote, "I have yet received another disheartening news of the killing of 5 soldiers by suspected militants of the proscribed terrorist organization IPOB. The slain soldiers were on peacekeeping duty in Abia State on Thursday, when they were murdered, just 2 months after a similar tragic incident happened in Okwama in Delta State. This unwarranted, barbaric, and evil act stand condemned and should never be condoled or tolerated in our country. Our soldiers and the police have the onerous duty to protect all of us from aggressors and non-state actors. Hundreds of them have paid the ultimate price in fulfillment of their duty, while some have experienced the injury of being manhandled by the people they protected. They surely do not deserve the mindless attack by unreal elements in our society. The federal government will come down heavily against those who have made it a habit to needlessly attack the officials and men of our army. On no account should anyone, under any guise, have the audacity to kill the agents of the states. I want to make it clear that the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the armed forces have the capacity to crush, violate non-state actors and make our community unsafe. I urge security agencies not only to fish out the masterminds and perpetrators of the Aba attack, but also those calling on people to stay at home. Their action is nothing but a treasonable offense. The fact that the security forces are exercising necessary restraint should not be mistaken for weakness. We are working to build a peaceful and humorous society, but nobody should be under any illusion that the government will not act appropriately when the lives of our officers and men are wanting taken. While my condolences go to the family of the 5 slain soldiers, their colleagues and the leadership of our armed forces, I urge other men and women on peacekeeping duty not to be discouraged by the unfortunate incident in Aba. Bola Ahmed, President, Commander-in-Chief, Republic of Nigeria. The question is this: when you underline the word peacekeeping, peacekeeping can only take place when there is a war, when there is state of emergency, probably in a particular region for high level of insecurity. That is when you send soldiers for peacekeeping. When there is war, in fact, that is when we hear the word peacekeeping. Now, the southeastern part of the country is not at war with anyone. I have shown you this video in the past. And this was a checkpoint somewhere in Abia State. Well, when you were coming towards that checkpoint, you come down and raise your hands up, and then you walk past the checkpoint. In a place that is not a war zone, this is happening. In as much as I continue to say that nobody have the audacity to take the life of anyone in this country, we should make it also that the Nigerian military are not supposed to be on the streets. This is a civil issue. When there are some issues, clash between community and all of that, the Nigerian police is trained in that manner to reduce all kind of tension in community within our society, but not sending the Nigerian soldiers all the time to community when there are arguments here and so this particular issue in Abia State that they have to send the Nigerian military is something that we are still finding it very difficult to understand, because from the last time I checked, there is nothing like war in the southeastern part of the country or a clash between community that necessitates the government to send the military there for any form of peacekeeping. Yes, the indigenous people of Biafra has been proscribed by the last administration as a terrorist organization, even though by the time they were proscribed, they were not carrying arms. But then, let's not forget that far away in the northeastern part of the country, we have the ISWAP warning the citizens in Borno to disappear from a particular community or they wipe them out. This was a breaking news 2 days ago. But what is the Nigerian army doing about it? Just like last month in Niger State, to be precise, more than 7 soldiers were slain. We saw the ambush there. Were they not in peacekeeping? Because when you look at the issue in the northeastern part of the country, you understand with me that the northeastern part of the country is at war. His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi have once said, if Nigeria is at war with insecurity, we should declare war against Boko Haram. We have seen the Fulani herdsmen terrorizing the northwest and north central of the country without the government proscribing them. They keep on calling them bandits and herdsmen and all of that. But far away in southeast, where people are agitating to have their own country, you proscribe them as a terrorist organization, and then you send the military for a military exercise in that region. Hence, all these shenanigans has been going on for a while now. Just like Sowore said, the only way to bring peace is for you to dialogue with these people. If they really want to have this Biafra, let's go to Spain, for example. In Catalan, the people there are demanding for their own states, but we have not seen the government of Spain proscribing them as terrorist organization. There have been modalities, there have been back and front, there have been protests here and there, but there have never been any form of, but this is a different case when it comes to Nigeria. And that is the reason why many people have been engaging the government. Talk to the eastern people. If those that are politicians are not speaking for the people and the people don't recognize them, then speak to the leaders of those organizations demanding for Biafra. That is having a fruitful conversation with people like Meze Nnamdi Kanu and Samuel Ekpe, of which many believe that he is being used even by the government, to sponsor what is happening in the southeast in order to keep that place under the watch of the government and continue to exploit the people. In as much as that remain a conspiracy theory or what some specific political spectrums believe, I will always say and maintain that if the government want peace to reign in Nigeria, then the best thing to do is to negotiate with the leaders, especially now that you have Nnamdi Kanu in your detention. What do to end this? Nnamdi Kanu once said in the past that if released, insecurity will go down in 2 minutes. And we also heard that he has been kept in the detention and somebody has been making over 500 million naira for him being at the detention of the DSS. So when you look at all of this, why don't you release the young man as well as having a conversation with him among others and see how you can bring a lasting situation to the southeastern part of the country. Using the military will continue to deter the situation in that place and it will escalate issues. Now, the former Minister of Education, Ebe Ezekwesili, said this earlier before the president's statement was released regarding this particular issue. And according to her, she said that as a citizen who highly value the role of our military in this country, I condole with you and family of the soldiers killed in Abia. May God grant their family divine comfort. To avoid this recurring pattern of loss of life of our civilian and military citizens alike, can you address the Nigerian public on the degenerated state of insecurity all over the, since nobody else but the person who occupied the seat of the president and commander-in-chief of the Nigerian Armed Forces is the vested with the constitutional power, duty and accountability to ensure the security of our country and people. Can you help us, the Nigerian people, understand why the failure of rampant insecurity persists in the country? What exactly is the problem? We are governed by constitution, law, rules and regulation with the rule of law as our bedrock. Anchored on all this, nowhere in our constitution, laws, rules and regulation are criminals meant to be appealed by their fellow citizens. Never. Criminals are to be constitutionally arrested, investigated, prosecuted, convicted and punished. How come your operation have hardly resulted in the arrest, successfully investigation, prosecution, conviction, punishment of any or any one of those responsible for killing Nigerian citizens across the country? Do you not know that this absence of strong deterrence has become an incentive to the criminal gang to freely kill our citizens, including those in the security forces? Why is the current occupant of the CNC office failing to effectively lead your establishment to punish criminals and secure our people and soldiers across the country? Please let the Nigerian public know why. That is my public accountability, and citizens deserve to hear from your government, institution and public office. Again, please accept my condolence for the losses. End of quotes. Now, when you go to the comment section of Ebesekwesili, you will see a lot of people saying you should attack the IPOB. That this is how it started in the northeastern part of the country, and then they never came out to like expose those behind it, and that is the reason why the northeastern part of the country is being ravaged today with ISWAP and all manner of terrorist organizations. But the truth still remains that was there any form of or militancy in the southeastern part of the country prior to 2017, even prior to 2015? I don't think so. The southeastern part of the country has been relatively peaceful, not until Meze Nnamdi Kanu, while agitating for the for the Biafrans to regain their freedom, when his home was, staged, and all those drama that happened between 2017 to 2019 that made him to flee the country, was when this whole thing happened that we begin to see, youths now carrying arms to say that they are this and they are that, and giving themselves names and trying to so they want to defend our territory and all of that. Had it been this was handled amicably, this issue wouldn't have gotten to this level. And the truth still remains. Calling those people terrorists will not solve the issue. The issue is dialoguing. You have already captured their leader. What is the solution? Using the military is not solving it. The place that you needed to use the military to end insecurity is the northeastern part of the country. Because there is no any form of agitation from that angle that they want to have a country of their own or anything. They talk about Boko Haram, which is Western education is bad. And all of this started with bombing of churches, mosques, schools, kidnapping of people. And that can be seen as a terrorist activities. But for a group to say we need to have a country of our own, then you prescribe them, is something that is still funny to some people. And we find it very difficult to understand. Even though at the time they started carrying guns, to defend themselves and all of that, which is actually condemnable. But the truth still remains, from what Ebesekwesili is saying, is the president should act just equally as it's acting to the southeastern part of the country, also to the north central, to the northwest, and to the northeast. Why is it that soldiers are being slain in the north central, northeast, no reprisal? But when it happened in the southeastern part of the country, you will see immediately this. And this is the reason why people continue to talk about marginalization and as well as the oppression of the southeastern part of the country. Just imagine a little raft that happened in Banex Plaza in Abuja the other day. They linked it to what happened in Okwama. This doesn't make any sense. And we are here to see at any given time where a soldier is being killed in the north part of the country being linked to what happened in Okwama. So this is not to defend anything, but this is an issue that we need to compel and contract at every given opportunity and see how we can bring peace to our dear nation. So what do you make of all this? Let's have this conversation at the comment section. Thank you for watching.